So, remote ID. Let's talk about it. The FAA has proposed this new regulatory system for drones called remote ID, and it is, in my opinion, horrible. No other way for me to say it. I am completely against it. It is overly restrictive, and I'm going to get into some details right now. So basically what the system proposes is, for those of you who are not aware yet, is that you will have to have your drone have the system where it broadcasts all of its data to some sort of third-party access point, which then gets sent to the FAA directly. And it requires an internet connection, and it has to be on every single drone over 250 grams. It's not even a good idea. It has good intentions, maybe good intentions. But what it does at the same time is it could completely eliminate people who own drones. They might not be able to use their drones anymore because they won't be compatible with the system. You won't be able to fly if you don't have remote ID on your drone. And they have not stated whether it will be something that can be like put into an older drone like a software update, or it would completely render these things useless and my Evo would become a $1,000 paperweight sitting on my desk. No, not happening. Sorry. Moving on. What's even more concerning about this is the FAA has essentially made it seem as if this system requires some sort of internet connection. And let's just say you're out in the middle of nowhere near an airport, in an excellent spot for flying, and you're like, oh, well, I might want to take my drone up, send it into the air. Nope, you don't have any internet connection. Despite being a perfectly legal spot for flight, you can't fly. That shouldn't be how it is. But according to the way this is designed, there will be a link to the whole document below where you can also leave a comment, which you should definitely do, on the government's official webpage for this document. Anyways, you could be in an area where it would be completely legal to fly, but if you cannot get an internet connection between your drone and some third-party organization that's going to be using and distributing remote ID, which we'll talk about later, is kind of unfortunate because, we won't be able to fly. And it could be beautiful scenery. No airport in sight. Just fly under 400 feet, fly within line of sight, and you'd be fine. No, you can't even take off. And in a way that really offends me. I mean, this is really concerning. The fact that they said that it would go through a third party, and you can see this in tons of other videos that go more in depth on the process that will be involved with remote ID. It sounds really just not smart. Like, why would you send? It's not just flight telemetry. You're not just sending your height, distance, and visual stuff. And I don't even know if it sends visual stuff, but you're not just sending your flight data to these people. You're also sending your drone's serial number, which is, if this database gets hacked somehow, which it's a government organization, and the FAA has had several problems with just having weak applications and technological stuff for their drones. For planes, yes, they're much better. That's what the organization does best. But they really need to step up their game with their application development. They did with Before You Fly, but before the latest update with Before You Fly, that app was crazy. I cannot tell you how hard it was to get that thing to work, and it was so hard to understand. It's much better now, but this leaves an issue where your drone's data could be leaked, sold, and just sold on the black market, and someone could use this and, do malicious things with it. Now, if this third-party organization was the manufacturer of your drone, taking the data and sending it back to the FAA, that would be a bit better. I still don't think every single piece of data should be going back to the FAA. That's like directly spying on the people that fly drones, and that's you don't need to do that for people who are driving. We have our drone registration numbers. Cars have their license plates. What do you want to do next? Put Wi-Fi into every car and make it connect to some sort network? No, that's not smart. That's not even remotely practical. So what needs to be done is drone pilots need to sort of band together, which we are. I've looked on the this document, and there are 4,000 comments already, which is pretty astounding. And we need more. We need more. We need to express our concerns, obviously in a very non like we need to express them in a very calm and collective manner, but you also need to get your point across. So there will be a link in the description to this website where the comments and the whole document can be posted, so you can read into this more yourself and see what your real thoughts on it are. But essentially, it would essentially ruin drone flying for pretty much everyone. And it's one of the fastest growing hobbies in the world, and it's just kind of unfortunate how strict regulations are coming onto us. But yeah, I I am personally against it, and I'm sure many others of you are also against it. I've seen tons of videos complaining about it, and it's good that awareness is being spread. I'm just doing my part to raise awareness so that I can keep flying this guy and making some content for y'all. So yeah, we must do whatever we can to stop remote ID from becoming a thing. It could potentially ruin everything, and I think the system we have already is, it's not perfect. There is no perfect system, but the remote ID would be a million times worse, and we don't want extra restrictions. This is America, the land of the free, and the home of the brave. The home of the brave drone pilots that are going to rise up against the FAA and leave a bunch of comments saying, please don't do this, we don't like that, thank you. Be considerate with your comments on the website, obviously, because, you know, FAA is not going to listen to you if you're just spewing out some nasty words, you know, but we need to get our point across, and we will. I've seen many people get their point across. So yeah, leave a comment in the FAA document. I don't care if you leave a comment in this video, do whatever you want, like, subscribe, or whatever. So yeah, I'm Rocco Dramani, and thank you for watching, and hopefully we will stop remote ID. I will see you all in the next video.